everybody. A pleasure to have your company on the form again, where we've got a bumper weekend once again to look forward to. Group 1 action out of Trentham. We've also got plenty of Kiwis heading across the Tasman to try and pick up those Australian spoils. So that means we've got the full team back in, Aidan, Bevan and Leith. And this is what's coming up on this week's form. We'll start with the Group 1 feature. The Manawatu Sires Produce, of course, run at Trentham. The Trentham undercard as well, including the Awapuni Gold Cup, the Manawatu Classic and the Flying Handicap. Then we'll be picking out our race trackers. Having a look at the Kiwis taking on the Aussies in the Tancred and the Tulloch, just to name a couple. And our best bets, as you know, to round out the show. We head back to Trentham again this weekend. Bevan, as I say hello to you, are we going to get that nice weather we saw last weekend?
Hello team. Yep, the weather forecast for Trentham on Saturday is perfect really. The track is at a soft 7 with a moisture meeting with 34.2, so you'd expect with no rain in the forecast across the next couple of days, we should be improving into that soft 5 and might even touch good 4 with a little bit of luck on Saturday. They did fan across the track a fraction last Saturday, but I think we'll be on a better track than we struck last Saturday.
Okay, well, the Group 1 is race number 8 on the program for the 2-year-olds over the 1,400 metres, where La Dorada is your clear-cut favourite. She opened at $3.40. She's now into $2.40. Then you've got Landlock at $5, and the other runner on that third line of betting is Hostility, $9.50, just into $8.50. That's how the market's playing. Where do you see the favourites positioning, Leith?
Yeah, look, Pip, obviously the race is raced at Trentham while Awapuni's out. So the 1,400 metres, it's going to be a little bit tougher for some of these 2-year-olds. So even though War Prince has led at both her starts, it's probably a race where they're going to go even to sort of slow tempo. La Dorada is going to get a nice run from the draw. Vega for luck, and Landlock, he's obviously drawn barrier 1 where he can just take advantage of a nice spot just behind the leaders.
Leith, I'm really keen to get your thoughts on what they do with Too Sweet. Obviously it was go back and nothing worked out in the Karaka Million, but from the wide gate there, I thought maybe sat outside your leader and War Princess. Where's Too Sweet?
Look, she's obviously had 2 bad draws in a row now, and obviously the Shadow Roll goes on this week, noseband off. So, look, I talked to Warrington yesterday, and hopefully they can just get a nice sort of run just somewhere, just off the speed. She is sort of push button a little bit, but her work on Tuesday was really good, he said.
Right, let's go back to the Mata breeders, where La Dorada Bevan here held off to Capital pretty well to pick up this win.
Tough little horse, isn't she? And it'll take a tough horse to win this race because I think it's got a bit of quality. The one concern I've got is that I don't think La Dorada can hold out War Princess, and if they come with Too Sweet, there's going to be a little bit of speed in here, but she should find a decent spot just in behind them with Michael McNabb aboard. They had a look at her this day, and the second horse for Stephen Marsh, Leith, is a nice galloper as well to cap it all, but very, very tough, and she runs and puts herself right in the mix.
Yeah, look, I think out of the race, Born to be Raw was heading the line really well, where you think 1,400 metres was suitor. Obviously, this was a gallop to Bravery Born on the inside, and the thing about La Dorada, she's just so tough. She's not overly big, but she is out of a Savabell mare. So little small question mark about the 1,400, but she is just still class, isn't she?
Absolutely. Obviously, she missed that Sistema run, but had this exhibition gallop with to Bravery Born. One thing to understand Burgesson this week about it, just says she's so tough. She's bounced back really well. To Bravery Born's actually going okay. Ran the quickest last 200 of that Mata slipper. Last time, had another horse who bypassed the Sistema Stakes. So you're part of a really strong team for Tiako Racing on Saturday, especially in this race. Let's have a look at Landlock. This was some sort of run in the Sistema. Vega for luck went forward. I wondered whether this was a race that really did favour the swoopers to some degree. Landlock's run the quickest last 8, 6, 4 and 2 of the race. Tale of the Gypsy was the other eye catcher out of this for mine, Leith.
Yeah, Tale of Gypsy was really good. Obviously coming out of barrier 11 this week's going to be a little bit tough for her. Thought Landlock, look, he won the first 2-year-old race of the season at Wanganui, so it's been a good training effort by Cody Cole to keep him up this long, and I think he just looked a bit more comfortable ridden just off the speed as well. Even though he's drawn 1 this week, I think there'll be probably 3 back on the rails.
I agree, and this is a horse I think that will lap up 1,400 metres. I think they'll have to be a little bit positive from the gate just to hold maybe that 3 back position. If they miss away, then I think there's enough speed to put them in a pretty tricky position, but really like Lean Lotka into the 1400 metres on Saturday. I think this is the most interesting form line. Tajana is a really nice filly. I love this one. Hostility clearly comes with the big price tag and came into this day with a big reputation, but they clear out and leave the rest as also ran. So I think this is a good form race from these two going into a Group 1. I think, Leith, there are big chances of upsetting the apple cart here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bevan. There wasn't much between them, and both of them look like the 1400 metres is going to be ideal, and the big roomy track at Trentham's going to really suit them. Look, I was there that day at Manawatu, and look, Hostility, he just, his home track, it just sort of... sometimes first start on their home track, they get wound up a little bit, and he sort of played up in the gates, and he got back onto a sort of a tricky spot. So there was a bit to like out of both of them.
Geez, it's an interesting form line, isn't it? Just how they go against the horses have been going in group company is the real query, but there was a lot to like about both runners for sure. We look at War Princess now, unbeaten in 2. Boy, she's a speedy filly. She's the one who looks likely to dominate them from the front in terms of speed, and geez, I've just liked how emphatic she's been in both her wins, Leith.
Yeah, and the best thing about her, she's been winning, and she's so professional. She finds the rail. You know what you're going to get from her. And look, she had a little bit in hand here as well. Lily was pretty soft on her the last 100 metres. So, look, she looks the natural leader in the race, and you'd think the 1400 metres will suit her as well.
Yeah, she can definitely run time as well. She ran really good time there. Look, probably the best horse in that race, and it was a little bit on speed at Whangarei. City horses maybe a little bit forgotten here. Too Sweet, if we look back at it, of course, went into the Karaka Million as a leading light and had no luck from a wide draw, a couple of trials. And Intention actually missed away behind La Dorada and did an absolutely great job to get as close as it did. So, look, War Princess might be the leading light, but I don't think Too Sweet's too far off them.
Okay, well, that's what the guys are thinking about the form. Now let's head out and hear from the connections. We'll start firstly with Sam Burgesson, and Aidan just asked how La Dorada has come through that Mata Breeders' win.
Yeah, obviously was a real shame to not have her in the Group 1 there at Ellerslie. She bounced back really quick. She's a tough, very game filly, so she's had a couple of exhibition gallops to catch up. Her last final piece of work was here on Sunday between races, really solid piece of work. Michael was really pleased with her. She's pulled up well, and she's just really had maintenance this week, so looking forward to it. She's got that good positive racing style. I suppose the 1400's probably the query, but we're really pleased with her. Yeah, probably needs to step up from that Meta slipper form. We've sort of gone with the formula. He won really nicely at Ellerslie, very fresh, with no trial even. So we've spaced his run heading into the Group 1 on Saturday, and hopefully that's the key to him. He's very bright and well here, full of himself. He worked between races here on Sunday as well. That was his last final piece of work with La Dorada. Grillsy rode him and was really pleased. George Rook takes the ride on Saturday, so happy to have him aboard. And we think he's an interesting runner. Comes in with a form line he needs to improve on, but he's very well. Yeah, really pleased with her run out here at Meta. She's doesn't take a lot of work. Probably, you'd love a little bit more condition of her, but we think she's a really exciting filly going forward. Very natural galloper, shown us plenty of good signs. She worked on the rail here on Sunday morning before scratching time. With Hostility, it was a good solid piece of work, and Opie rode here and was really pleased. And again, another one we've just done maintenance with this week, and a filly that we think is going to suit the 1400 in the big roomy track, so another nice chance. Okay. Look, we were proud of his run first up. Obviously gutted he didn't win, but beaten by a pretty fair horse who's a really good chance on Saturday. So we think the race day experience will do him well. 1400 big track. He seems to relax lovely in his running. He'll take good improvement from that Meta run, we think. So he's coming in sort of a bit unknown, but we think he's a really good chance.
Super. Came home from Ellerslie, he's licked the bowl since then and worked accordingly. He's working really well and thriving in himself. He's nice and bright and well and healthy in the coat, and couldn't be happier.
Going really good. Loved her last start. I thought the 1200 she was back near last at the corner and attacked the line super, and still a little bit green. I think the step to the 1400's perfect and hasn't put a foot wrong since.
Yeah, look, really happy with where she is. She's certainly developing as she's in work, which is rare for a 2-year-old filly. Usually as they step up in the grades and have tough runs, they tend to lighten off and you're looking for a break, but she's certainly on the upward spiral.
Yeah, well, obviously that step up in distance I think is probably going to help him. Last start, outside barrier, didn't help. He had to do a little bit of work early, and once he sort of got into his rhythm, they sprinted again. So it was just a little bit too much. But I think just the, obviously a barrier draw, which tends to be my problem quite a lot. If he gets a nice barrier, then I think he'll be in it for sure.
I really am looking forward to this race. I think there's a few differing form lines that'll be of interest to everyone going forward. But I am going to go with Landlock. He really impressed me last start. I think he'll lap up the 1400 metres as long as Ryan can get him away from the inside gate and find a reasonably positive position. I think he'll be hitting the line very, very strongly.
Yeah, like you said, it's a pretty strong race. Look, I normally wouldn't do this, having a second start in a Group 1, but Hostility, the stable have got a massive wrap on the horse. He's got a nice gate in Gate 4. The travel to Wellington's not going to be a problem. He went to Easter last year for the Sydney sale, so there's a bit of value about him, about sort of $8 and $2.50.
I'm just going to stick with the favourite, boys. I'm going to go with La Dorada. Karaka Million winner, obviously very good in the Matamata Breeders' Stakes. Yeah, there was a setback in missing the Sistema Stakes, but boy, listening to Sam Burgess in there, everything A-OK with La Dorada, so she's on top for me.
And that's a look at the Group 1 race number 8 on Saturday. If you want to catch the action, make sure you're tuning in to either the Big Saturday or Trackside Premiere. We turn our attention to the undercard out of Trentham, and it's a beauty. We'll start with the race number 7 on the program. This one is the City of Palmerston North, the Awapuni Gold Cup, over the 2100 metres. Waitak favourite 310 from Whangaihu at 370. Then you've got What You Wish For at $6.50 from Midnight Blue and Town Crier. Let's take you back to the Group 2 Japan Trophy at Tauranga over the mile here, and was out the backswings at Waitak, but the seas parted, got that beautiful rails run through and took them out.
Yeah, it was a ride of his life for Ryan Elliott, albeit they just flussed off the rail and gave him that inside run. But he had to be good enough to take advantage of that, and he really did blow them away. He really deserved this horse. He's been going great races in very, very strong company. He's up to the 2100 metres, Lee, so he won't have to dive along the inside. You'd imagine he's coming down the outside of the big roomy track at Trentham. And if he runs out a strong 2100 metres, who would be surprised if he just doesn't win again?
Yeah, certainly. And the best thing about that race, it would have given him a little bit of confidence. He sort of hadn't won for over a year. So, look, he just got a nasty gate again. Gate 11, Ryan's had to go back. Look, the big roomy track at Wellington's really going to suit him. And, look, he's got the top weight of 58, but he can carry weight as well.
Yeah, he was always going to go back no matter what, I think. But, geez, hasn't he been so potent over the sprint trips? It's been really interesting to see them sort of now stepping up to, 1,600 metres last time, 2,100 metres again this time. He was placed in an Avondale Guineas, so he's got the class, and you just got to respect him under the set weights and penalties. We have a look here at Whangaihu, also Midnight Blue, so taking you to... obviously a New Zealand stakes that has seen Wolfgang finish last and come out and win the St Ledger out of this. So the form looks okay. We'll see La Creek in Australia this weekend, and the winner goes to Hong Kong. So it's a good form race. Whangaihu's body of work, this preparation, has been absolutely top-notch. And I thought on looking at the Trentham Stakes, the Herbie Dyke placing, I thought the horse to beat.
Yeah, he certainly does. Obviously coming back from weight for age, back down to about 56 kilos is really going to suit him as well. So he's well placed. He gets back to a track where he's won before, and the best thing about him this week, he gets barrier 1.
I've watched the last 2 races and thought to myself, as soon as he gets back to set weights and penalties, he'll be winning, and he gets that on Saturday, so I think he's massively hard to beat. I think Town Cry is a bit of a player. I thought she was really good behind Province last start at Ellerslie, back this way going, back at Trentham, finds the front. I don't see Packers in a race like this. She's going to be pretty dangerous again if she can run out a strong 2100 metres. But
yeah, and she's sitting there in that market at $7, so it is a bit of value. But once again, we are going to see if we can get a guide from our trainers and connections, and we'll start with the trainer of the favourite Waitak, Andrew Scott, and Aidan just asked him what he expects on Saturday.
We're expecting to be, he's a super consistent racehorse, and at that level of racing, he's always thereabouts. So, if they go a good gallop and he relaxes well, he'll be hitting the line strong.
Yeah, I think obviously Midnight Blue just found that Ellerslie race a bit too sharp. There's a very good field. Back to set weights penalty really suits him. He gets in well, and he was very stiff in the Avondale Cup before that. So we're pleased with him. Worked good on Tuesday, and what you wish for, he's bringing in good form lines. He was really good in the Kaimai Stakes, and we kept him fresh to go the mile there at Tauranga. Probably just found it a bit sharp for him, but back up to 2100 we think really suits him. So 2 nice each way chances.
His work's been really good. I'm happy with the horse. He's back in form, so I'm expecting a nice run. If he goes well, he'll probably stay down there for a couple of weeks and go on to the Hawke's Bay Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything, like I say, has just sort of been leading up to it, and we've had this on the radar for a little while, and sort of a little bit the grand final for him before the tracks sort of start to turn. But pretty happy.
Well, he's going good down at the track down there, so hopefully he's with the set weights and penalties. Not as well off against Waitak and the ones that are rated higher, but no, he's gone well down there, so hopefully he'll acquit himself well.
As I mentioned earlier, just been waiting for Whangai Hu to get back into a similar grade at set weights and penalties and drop off that 59 to, what's he got, 56 on Saturday. I think he's a major player. Price is drifting here, $3.38 to $3.70. A lot of money coming for Waitak, but I think pretty backable at that quote.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Waitak. With Town Crow in the race, they'll be running at nice even tempo as well, so it'll suit those back markers. But I'm with you, Bevan. Whangahu, I'm happy at the $3.70. Barrier 1, Craig rules on, and he gets him at 56 kilos.
Absolutely, yeah, no argument from me. I just love what this horse has been doing. Just one concern is just how far he's been able to get off them in some points. So as long as he keeps touch, and he did last time out, then I think he's undoubtedly the horse to beat. Real respect around Waitak.
And go strong support around Whangai Hu. And now we're moving back a race. We're going to take a look at race number 6 on the program. This one, the Manawatu Classic, sponsored by Higgins Concrete, and Kiwi Skyhawk is your clear-cut favourite now. Opened up at $2.50 into $2, and there has been a little bit of money for the Southern Raider Calvin Tyler's charge, Freddie Time, 14s into 12s. Going to take you back to a form reference around our favourite now, Kiwi Skyhawk in the New Zealand Derby here. What a run, obviously. Finishes 5th behind Willie Dewitt and the Australian as well, Doctor of Love. But the horses Bevan and behind running 3rd and 4th, well, they'll take their place in Australia this weekend.
Yeah, look, on evidence of everything you look across this entire program, just on form, this would seem to be your play on the program. Look, he was just getting tired the last little bit, so he comes back to 2100 metres, which I think will suit him even better. You go through this form. Coulthard is quite talented, and we'll have a look at him shortly, but just looks the real standout, possibly on the program here, Leith.
Yeah, he certainly does. Look, he's sort of tired a little bit late there, but I think the best thing about him this week, I think all his wins have been at left-handed tracks, and he gets to Wellington. The big roomy track there is going to suit him. Race sort of lacks a little bit of speed, so hopefully he can sort of just sit in that midfield position.
Yeah, exactly. Even though he was sort of getting tired, when the horse on the outside, Don Pedro, came up, he looked to fight again. So he looks like a real competitor. And remember what he was doing in the spring, 3rd in a Water Cree Stakes, very good 4th in a Group 1, 2,000 guineas as well. And now he's run so well there. The drop back to 2,000 metres, probably ideal in this Manawatu Classic after a slight freshener. Have a look at a really key form race. This Coulthard at Wanganui last time out. This was a Bell Tribute race. Now, a lot of horses coming out of this. You'll also see a pretty handy run from Jones Joker, Dubois Portici here as well, and Elegant Explosive further back in the race. But the best of the runs was from Coulthard, who had impressed in clearing maidens by 3 lengths at Waverley the start before. Looks pretty progressive here, Leith.
Yeah, he won really well. I thought out of the race, Jones Joker was a really good effort. I think to step up to the 2,000 metres, if there was a blowout in the race, I'd definitely have him in my top 4 ticket.
Hey, I was just going to say that, Leith. If you want to go through that race, you see the price on Coulthard and you look at the price on Jones Joker, you watch that replay and go, I think they got that a little bit wrong. Owned by Tommy Jamison. This horse has been unlucky on a few occasions. 3 starts ago, it was close up behind Twisted Love, who's now domiciled in Australia. Coulthard is a nice horse. Just wish he'd put his head down and really gallop through the line. He just keeps his head up, and that is a bit of a trait of the Redwoods, but he's a pretty positive horse going forward, Coulthard.
He certainly is, and he's in that third line of betting. The horse that's sitting second currently is Way Out West. Let's hear from his trainer, Andrew Forsman. He's got the 2 charges in.
Yeah, really well. I think Prochester's probably, well, we hope he's better suited to left-handed racing. He just got lost at Ellerslie. So we hopefully can bounce back to his better form, back to left-handed racing. Way Out West is in good form. She's only lightly tried, and I guess the query with her is whether she can run a strong middle distance. She's performed well enough at shorter trips, but yeah, this will be the test for her.
Yeah, look, really liked his Derby run, didn't get a lot of luck. I think he's gone on from that. He's just had his final piece of work this morning, but going great. And yeah, it's a very open field, and he does look the class horse. On the way he's working, the way he's going, any luck, and he looks probably one of our better chances of the day.
Well, hopefully he'll run. You know, we're hopeful of a good run. You know, it's not an overly strong field. Basically, 1-win horses. So, in saying that, you've still got the likes of Stephen Marsh's horse that has run well in good company in stakes races. So, look, I'm just hoping he'll run a nice race and like he'll stay the distance. He's won over 21. So, yeah, he's training well. Everything going right so far.
Yeah, she's been a handful. She was really good at Taupo, and then unfortunately, you know, the mishap at Ellerslie, which was very frustrating. We thought there was a really good chance at black type, so went back to the trials. She behaved herself. We've just altered the gear there and the barriers, so she wears the blindfold now, and she behaved herself and stood in there very well. So fingers crossed, as long as she behaves herself on race day, you know, we'll look to ride her similar again, be very positive with her, and another good chance at black type.
Look, I think it rests with Kiwi Skyhawk. If he runs up to the best of his form, he'll be winning. I think one of the boys might have it as best, so we'll leave it at that. But one of the better plays on the program for Stephen Marsh. If he runs up to the best of his ability, he should be winning.
Yeah, certainly back to left-hand is going to really suit him as well. Look, I'm happy to have him on top. That $2 a little bit short, but just, you know, maybe play the exacta with Jones Joker as well.
Yeah, for mine he looks superior. The question is just who is emerging, who is the danger to him, who's the progressive talent, because he's been there and done that, and maybe just needs to improve a little bit. But on what he's done so far, he's the yardstick horse and superior on what we've seen so far at least, Pip.
Yeah, and the market's really reflecting that too, with him clear-cut favourite at $2. From there, we're going to take you now to the last race on the program. It is the Flying Handicap over the 1,400 metres, sponsored by Bramco Granite and Marble. And our favourite is Platinum Attack, 460 into 450. Glamour Tycoon has been the mover, however, 550 into $4.80. And then you've got last start winner Mr Mojo rising at 550. Let's go back to last weekend in the Lightning Handicap, where Glamour Tycoon and Platinum Attack fight it out, Bevan. Bit of a swing in the weights though. She goes up 2 kilos. He only goes up 0.5.
Yeah, and that would lead you to Platinum Attack. Look, they timed this race, and I know Aidan put something up on social media, hand-timed, and they were saying on course on Saturday that they almost broke the course record of Bawalaxana. So we need to get better in that sort of front to begin with, but he's a good horse at Trentham, Platinum Attack, and he gets in at a very light weight, Lee. So with that weight, he's going to be very, very dangerous again.
Yeah, both of them are on the quick backup as well. And like you said about those times, like the track was rated a soft 6. So, you know, we're in 2025. You'd think the timing should be correct by now.
Well, I have heard some good news on that front, lads, in response to the tweet, which I was just obviously a little bit critical of the hand timing of Group 1 day. The NZTR have ordered the right timing, electronic timing mechanisms to suit the gate. So that's underway, so we won't see that ideally in the future from Trentham. Just going back to that race, boy, Platinum Attack's run was massive against the pattern, quickest last 8, 6, 4 and 2, and the times, despite what we saw in the overall times, were just unbelievable. So has to be hard to beat again, and Glamour Tycoon fantastic too. He's one of the dangers, Mr Mojo rising. He's sometimes been a little bit in and out, but terrific this day in winning, and Leith a bona fide chance in this if he can bring his best.
Yeah, certainly looks a natural leader in the race, Masa Hasazumi on this week. He was really disappointing first up, and the second up run was really good. So he comes into this race third up. He's going to be super fit, and yeah, he'll be a top 3 chance.
I think he's a major player. That race rated really, really highly. Might have again been just the best horse in that particular race running along in front, but I love the way this horse attacked the line on that 1,400 metres at Trentham in a race where he should be okay in that full position. He's pretty tough to roll. As are many in here. We've got our Eco at the top. He just comes to this place and just keeps on winning. But here is December. Now, look, there was a few issues the previous start, but got there right on the line. He's a lovely horse, this 4-year-old by Sham Express, and he's got a fair future into his 5-year-old season. And Leith, he had to be good this day to get up.
Yeah, they don't really sort of run them down like that late. He only just got up on the post, but his run before that, we all saw what happened. He ran 4th, where his gate sort of was... I don't know if it was opened or closed, but he probably should have won his last 2. I think the 1400 metres at Wellington's really going to suit him, and if they go that touch hard up front, he'll be hitting the line very late.
He's a high-class horse, no doubt. He's won 4 of 10, and his record, like you say, Leith, could well be better as well. He's a contender too.
He certainly is. Let's hear again now from our connections, and we'll start with Stephen Marsh. And Aidan just asked him firstly about Glamour Tycoon's time and how she's come through that race.
That hand timing I saw you talking about, yeah, I don't know if she's quite as quick as what they say, but she's going great. I mean, she's so tough. Looked like she was beaten, kicked right back on the line. She's not the biggest of fillies, but she's strong, got a great mind. She's tough. She's come through well, and I think the 1400 will worry it all, and she's bounced out of it super.
It was a great effort, I thought. He was unlucky first up. I thought it was a pretty messy race, so we were happy to put that behind us. Obviously, he won strongly the other day. He won't be as well weighted this weekend as what he was. He did get the 3 kilo claim, which was obviously a big assist the other day at Wanganui, so that'll make it tougher, but I think he's in good form.
Yeah, it would be his first time back up over 1400 for a while, and to be honest, quite looking forward to it. Both big tracks this weekend. Yeah, look, if he steps out, well, wherever he steps out, he'll be a good chance. We're just got to have a bit of a chat to the owners and make a bit of a plan. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to see him back up over 1400.
Yeah, I think he was probably a little bit disappointing there at Taupo, got taken on. We're just going to ride him a bit different, look to ride him a bit colder this time like he won at Taranaki. He's a very good galloper on his day. He's got really good form lines, sort of going back a bit. So a bit colder, we think suits, nice lightweight. It looks like he'll get from the noms. And Grillsy knows him really well. So we're just going to drop him to a visor as well. And, you know, he's well here at home, so he's another nice each way chance.
This is another great way to finish the program there at Trentham on a dual weekend of great racing. Like I looked at our Eco, I looked at Platinum Attack, felt a little bit of a traitor. I'm going to go with Mr. Mojo Rising because I thought he was super impressive at Wanganui. We saw this horse win really nicely at Otaki through the previous campaign. So just going with a horse that's on the right pattern, but Platinum Attack, our Eco and others, big dangers.
Yeah, I probably had Platinum on top before the draws come out. He's drawn the outside gate. Him and Glamour Tycoon, there wasn't much between them last week, but they had a pretty hard run as well. So I'm going to go December. Fresh legs, 53 kilos. He'll be hitting the line late.
Yeah, interesting. They did have hard runs. Platinum Attack was back 3rd last at one point. His run was just phenomenal. One of the best I've seen in a while. I'm with him. I think he's a really big chance again. Just one that does interest me right down the bottom. Dr. X-Scar. Terrific last week, and great to see Joe Moss giving this horse his chance.
Yeah, maybe one you can play in or pop into the exotics at least. And that does complete our look at Trentham on the Group 1 day. You can catch all the build-up on Big Saturday from 11:30 a.m. and the feature racing on Trackside Premier from 2:30. Time for our race trackers. Make sure you note these ones down. Leith, who caught your eye this week?
Pokakoe. Look, Astoria Brock, she's run last 12 of 12. You see her there with her head on her chest back in the Trelawney colours on the inside, and she just never had a gap anywhere up the straight. So look, she's got a race plan next Saturday at Ellerslie on the 5th, a rating 65 over 1,500 metres, and she just needs a nice clean run in the race, and she'll be going very close. You'll see her there, and yeah, it was just like a nice little quiet trial.
Okay, I'm going to take you to Trentham last weekend, and while I say that Platinum Attack was massive, I think this is the next up winner. This was Thrilling's run in the New Zealand Oaks. Massive. Quickest last 200, second quickest last 8, 6 and 4. For her to run 5th in this quality of race as a maiden, she can drop back to a maiden 2,000 metre race next time out. I think she's an absolute next up winner.
I agree, boys, on both of those. Astoria Brook through my pocket. I really like this horse. A lot of go. This is his debut in a decent 2-year-old race. He got lost on the crossing, but he's sectionally run some outstanding times across the whole meeting. Lady's going to charge into third. This is a real horse to follow. Might go to Stakes Company next time, and look, I'd be surprised if he stays on our shores, if he lives up to what they think of him.
Yeah, really nice performance. And I'm going to take you back to Mata Windrush coming down the outside here in Tony Pike's colours. He'll just come together right before the post with the eventual winner on the town. There was a protest, it was dismissed. They said just not quite enough in it. But when you have a look at the head on, you can see on the town just shift out enough. Windrush wanting to put the head on the side as well. So thinking maybe next time follow Windrush, because I just feel like if he hadn't pushed out there, he should have been winning that race. And yeah, cost a few multis, I think, on Sunday. Here is a summary for you. You know the drill. Make sure you note them down, pop them in your race tracker. There's an assaulter on the Australians this weekend. It's the Kiwis, plenty of them heading across the Tasman. And we'll start with race number 8, where we do see Le Creek head around in the Tancred Stakes. She's currently an $18 chance, with Dubai Honour and Vauban both hitting the betting. Gets underway on Saturday at 6:35 as we take you back to Le Creek, of course, when she was racing here in New Zealand. The Bone Crusher Stakes, gosh, she's gone painstakingly close twice with Al Vencedor. What are you expecting this weekend from her, Aidan?
By all accounts, she's settled in better than she's ever settled into Australia before. She's run second placings in Group 1s at her last 4. Mufasa Classic, the TAB Classic, Zabeel Classic, Herbie Dyke Stakes, Bone Crusher, and she's been so willing each time. She just won't lie down. Remember the last time she was at 2,400 metres, she was something beaten in a New Zealand derby. She steps up in just the right order. I thought the money was pretty attractive. She's high class, and I think she can acquit herself well, Leith.
Yeah, the best thing about her, she's got a nice gate, barrier 5, Nash Rawiller on as well. So, look, he's having his first ride on her, but as we know, he's a world-class jockey, and he'll put her right in there, right behind the speed as well. And yeah, I'm happy with that sort of $5 a place.
Yeah, the place price is good. Look, she'll try hard out. She's just been so honest this entire preparation. She deserves another big race, and if she's travelled better than ever, she'll be right in the mix. But I was blown away by Vauban. Fresh up for the new stable this time. And look, it cost me a fortune across a couple of Melbourne Cups. There's no mistake about that. But with a new training partnership, just seemed back to its very, very best fresh up this time. And so got to back that up. I suppose that is the one concern, so big fresh over ground, but trust the trainers.
Yeah, I'm off the top weight. Dubai Honour, William Haggis, he's a master of taking these horses to Sydney. Won the Randwick and Queen Elizabeth in 2023. He's lightly raced for a 7-year-old. He's had 28 starts with 8 wins. He's one they all have to beat this week.
Yeah, since getting to Sydney, what he's won in France, second in a Group 1 in Germany, second last time out in a Group 1 in Hong Kong. He's a super horse, and it's a super field. But I'm going to stand loyal. I'm going to stay with La Creek. I think she can cause the upset. She's flying at the moment, and we just want to see the best of her. Hopefully we do on Saturday.
Yeah, good on you, staying loyal, Aidan. As we move now to race number 3, this one for the Tulloch Stakes, the Group 2 of the 2,000 metres, and King of Thunder is the favourite at $3.40. James McDonald to do the riding, but there is our 2 Kiwis. Golden Century for Tony Pike, Nash Waller to do the riding, and Mustang Morgan, Damien Lane and Andrew Forsman combined. $9.50 for Mustang Morgan, holding its price, where Golden Century is on the drift, $5.50 out to $7. Speaking of the 2, they come out of the Group 1 trackside New Zealand derby, and I've got to say, Aidan, Golden Century was huge. From missing the kick, then getting held up around the 600 metres, he's closed off brilliantly.
Yeah, absolutely he has. And Mustang Morgan's going really well too. Obviously, we've highlighted this video from earlier on with the Manawatu Classic run of Kiwi Skyhawk, who is a $2 favourite in Group 3. Yes, this is harder. It's a Group 2 in Sydney. These are never easy to win. But both of these 2 runs fantastic. Golden Century's still a maiden, but he's just going the right way. And even the way that Mustang Morgan hits the line, he's going really well too. I think these are good chances to be sending across. Obviously 7 days out from an Australian derby, Leith. We want to see great semi-final gallops, but I think we can from both of them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm really happy to just watch them this week. I think Golden Century is the horse out of the race where I think Willie Dewitt's running in the derby next week as well. But Golden Century, if he jumped out on terms, we saw him gallop at Manawatu last week, and he's actually improved. He just does things a little bit wrong, but I think Nash Rowell is going to really suit him as well.
Yeah, I think he's a major player. Every time I watch that replay, I want to know where Dom Pedro's heading, because he's coming off a maiden at Te Haraniki and did that in the Derby. Interesting race. I sort of was going to land with another Kiwi bred pip, but we'll give that to you shortly.
Okay, we'll wait for that. In the meantime, we will hear from Andrew Forsman and Tony Pike. Tony's up first. Aidan asked him how Golden Century is.
Yeah, come through the Derby really well. He had a few days in the paddock, and look, he's a big, robust horse, and he's bounced through his Derby run really well. So we talked to ATI, and it looks a good opportunity. Obviously to have a crack in Sydney. We know he stays, and yeah, it's a bit of a tried and true method going through the Murray Baker playbook to run in the Tallock Stakes, obviously, and then into the Derby the week after.
Yep. What about travel? When's he headed over?
He had over last night at 6 o'clock. He arrived about 9:30 last night. Just spoken to Sam Weatherly. He's taken him over for us, and he's got through the trip really well. He's just gone for a trot and canter and couldn't be happier with him.
Okay, his main work leading into this one before he left on picking?
Yeah, he had an exhibition gallop on Sunday at Manawatu in between races. Worked extremely well. Really pleased with him. He worked with Whitsend, who's obviously a pretty sharp open class sort of sprinter miler, and couldn't have been more pleased with his work. So looking forward to going. There's a bit of rain forecast for Saturday, which could be a concern, but really pleased with the way he's come through the Derby. He's a progressive 3-year-old, probably the best maidener in the country at the moment, and look, it'd be nice to be able to clear maidens in the Tallock Stakes on Saturday.
Yeah, really good order. I thought he was very unlucky that day, and that's why we've rolled the dice and we're going to have a go over there in Sydney. Not sure whether he'll measure up, but we'll give him his chance. And he's bounced through it. He's thriving. I think the blinkers have worked with him. It was his first run in the Derby, and I think they'll assist, and he's travelled over there in really good order and settled in well.
Yeah, good information from our trainers there, and I think we can see a good 3-year-old contingent, especially towards the Derby following week. Of course, Willie Do It heading that way as well, but hopefully we can see these two join them. For mine, I'm going to go with Golden Century. I think he's just going beautifully. Love the fact that he's travelled really well and settles into this race beautifully. He is a maiden, which is a concern, but I'm going to stick with him. Leith, for you?
Yeah, I'm going to go the Trent Natalie Young and Trent Busserton train Confetti Garden. He's yet to run a bad race. We've seen Trent and Nat, these 3-year-old staying horses. They've got a good record in Sydney as well.
Actually, I just looked up Dom Pedro. Don Pedro runs in the Wellington Cup on Sunday, but we will keep you updated to where he goes. I'm going with King of Thunder, the Tavachi horse, who's under James McDonald, coming from a benchmark 78 into a Group 3. So looking forward to J-Mac riding another Kiwi bred home in the third there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now we're going to head across to Victoria, leave Rosehill, and have a look at Flemington, because we've got the little filly going around for Ken and Bev Calso, an Alabama lass in the Hong Kong Jockey Club Whirlpool Sprint here over the 1100 metres, and she is the clear-cut favourite, $2.70. She got as short as $2.15. She's just pushing back out to $2.45. Let's take you back to the form around her, the Group 3 Kings Plate, and boy, she was just so impressive here, Aidan. Can't wait to see her in Australia.
Yeah, she was emphatic. She was just she put a space on some very good horses. She got it soft, and she was just able to show her speed. But we know she's got more depth than this. When we're hearing about Crocetti being put into the Kiwis slot for the Quokka upcoming, this is what Alabama Lass is capable of. Super win in the King's Plate. It's a little bit different going down the straight track at Flemington, Leith, but she's got all sorts of ability. I think she's going to be awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, I know you asked Ken Calso, was she fast enough to win that race? Do you reckon she was fast enough, Rod, or? In the end she was, and it was obviously just a thrower line, just to get a nice little catch out of Ken. Boy, didn't I get one from him too. By all accounts, Opie Bosson has ridden this horse in its main lead-up gallop before heading across to Melbourne. I spoke to Opie about this horse on Wednesday morning at the track, and he said, yeah, she's fast, all right. Yeah, no, she was super, and look, Craig Williams gets on this week. She's come up pretty short. She's only $2.40, but from barrier 4. On what looks like, she's taking on some okay horses, but it's probably not that sort of Group 1 or Group 2 field that she's up to winning.
Let's be honest, if she doesn't win this sort of listed sprint race down the chute at Flemington will be extremely disappointed because she smashed our very best the other day. I agree with Aidan, it's just that little bit different going down the straight 6 at Flemington to going around a quick corner and leaving them in her dust. But look, all things being equal from that gate, Craig Williams, she looks very tough to beat.
He certainly does. Well, Aidan did track down Ken Cowser at track work. Let's see what he has to say about Alabama Lass.
You know, very good. Aidan, she had a final real good hit out on Saturday morning here on the course proper against the rail. Worked very well. So did a little bit of maintenance work on Tuesday, and she flies out, leaves the stable about 11:30 this morning.
Okay, comprehensive win last time out. What did you make of the performance that day in the Kings Play?
Oh no, very good. I mean, she eventually got a track that suited her. You know, a nice firm track, and she showed what she can do.
Yeah, obviously she's high class, but you get to Australia, and as you know, it's a different league there. What can you expect this weekend?
Look, you know, it's down the straight, and it's a little bit different on a circle. She's proved that she's very good, you know, at that, but it's another dimension she's got to take down the straight. So, yeah, no, it'll be interesting. Yeah, as you say, you know, it's another level up, but if she's in the form that she has been here, and you know, she drives here in good order and parades in good order on the day. You know, I'm sure she's always tried her hardest, and you know, if she's in that sort of form, I'm sure she'll go well.
She's a beauty, isn't she? Alabama Lass. She's won 5 of 8, second on 3 occasions. I think she can be a big player here, so I've gone with her. Alabama Lass on top for me.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of respect for Gatsby. He's a Chris Waller trained horse, but Alabama Lass from barrier 4, she'll be pinging in front somewhere, and she looks the winner to me.
Not going to beat around the bush, probably enough time to put up my little key. Pip, it's as simple as Alabama Lass in that particular race across the ditch.
Yeah, good luck to Ken and the team and all of the Kiwis taking on the Australians this weekend. As you know, you can catch all the action, Big Saturday and Trackside Premiere. All right, Leith, you got your best bet to home last weekend with Romilly. Who are you liking this time?
Yeah, I'm going to take you to Sunday again, Pip. Tauranga race 4, the Esprit. Look, he had his first start at Waverley. He'd done a few things wrong. He meets only 7 runners on Sunday, and look, the horse that beat him here, Pacific Breeze, is running in the Group 1 sides at Wellington on Saturday. So, look, I think the Esprit will be winning it probably at short price, but he'll be too good on Sunday.
For me, I'm going to the Manawatu Classic at Group 3 level and going with Kiwi Skyhawk. He's run 4th in a 2,000 guineas. He's been 5th in a New Zealand Derby, a couple of Group 1 performances, and he comes up against mainly maiden and 1-win horses. I think he's beautifully placed, so he's on top for me.
Been waiting for this horse, who knows, back for Noel Quinn. Won at the 1,600 metres, won at the course, put up some of the best losing performances of the Spring Carnival. 2 trials coming into a 1,600 metre event. Not the worst field, but if it's not Saturday, watch this horse going forward.
And I'm going to take you to Tauranga, race number 8 on the programme. Sister Ping come out of the 3-year-old race here last time. She just couldn't quite get across from the wide gate and then was hampered. I think she'll be better for the run second up if she can overcome the draw again. I think she'll go very close to Vinnie Colgan doing the riding again. Here is a summary. Rosa will kick us off with Bo Anna at the Whanganui Straight Track meeting on Friday in race number 4. The Wales with Words, and then you can see the rest of ours. Make sure you note them down. Hopefully we've found you plenty of winners for the weekend. That completes the form once again. Look forward to what is going to be a fantastic weekend. Thanks guys for all your input. As always, to everybody else, good luck, best of luck for all your connections, and we'll catch you back next week.